We'll start in a comfortable seat. That could be cross legs, could be soles of the feet together with the knees out to the sides, could be legs out in front. And it might be helpful to sit on something, a folded blanket or a pillow of some sort, just so that the hips have a little bit of lift. From here, you can close your eyes if that's comfortable. Allow the body to settle in. And if at any point you need to adjust, you can adjust and come back to this quiet stillness. Taking a few moments to notice any physical sensations. Looking for tightness, openness. Looking for temperature, texture. All of the physical things that you might be able to briefly name and then move on. Allow your awareness to shift to your breath. Softening your belly so that the breath may be easeful. Slow breath in and a long breath out. You are invited to set an intention if you wish, a way to infuse the practice with a bit of meaning. It could be a single word or a phrase. It could even be a short invocation or a prayer. And so taking a moment now if you'd like to set an intention for yourself. From whatever seat you are sitting in, take your hands behind your hips and press down so that the torso lengthens. From here, leaning your torso forward, arms could stay behind. Arms could also come out in front to help us maybe walk a little more forward. You can bow your head slightly and take a few slow, deep breaths. Bringing yourself back upright. Pause a moment, re-lengthen your spine. And taking a twist to the right. Again, you can stay in whatever seat you're in. If it's not crossed legs, that's fine. Left arm comes across to the right leg. Right arm comes behind, lengthening through the spine. Head could stay in neutral or head could turn in either direction, whatever feels best for you. Relax a little through your left shoulder. And take several breaths. Coming back to center, pause a moment there, re-lengthen your spine. And then twisting to the left, right arm comes across to the left leg, left arm comes behind. Gradually turning your body into this twist. center, and we'll take the legs out in front. If they're not already, give them a shake. Rock side to side, get a better seat. And then crossing your right leg over your left and seeing if the right foot would come back near to the left hip. From here, fingertips press down again wherever you can get the floor. And we'll lean the torso forward. Arms could stay where they are next to the hips, or arms could come out in front of you, holding on to the shin, resting next to the leg, or taking hold of one or more of the toes. Again, we could bow the head to lengthen through the back of your neck. Back upright, uncross the legs, send the legs back out in front, give another shake. And then crossing your left leg over the right as best as you can. The left foot comes back near the right hip, and the leg can lie down. It doesn't have to stand up. It can be relaxed over your right leg. Fingertips come down next to the hips, beside the hips, maybe a little behind the hips, and we lean the torso forward. Arms could stay in that place beside you or behind you, or you could reach a little bit forward, hands on either side of the leg or on top of the shin, or again, maybe reaching one or more of your toes. A few breaths here. Slowly coming back upright and crossing the legs and giving another bounce. From here, coming to hands and knees. If you would like a cushion for the knees, a folded blanket, thinly folded blanket is a good idea to help with the comfort of the kneecaps. Hands about underneath the shoulders, knees about underneath the hips. We're going to inhale and lift the tail, lift the chin, arch your spine. Exhale, round a little bit as you come back towards child's pose. Inhale as you scoop forward and coming back up to the arched spine, lifted tail and chin. Exhaling as you round back towards child's pose, forearms come down, head bows. And doing this for a few repetitions, inhaling to arch the spine into cow. Exhaling to round the spine towards a child's pose, not quite all the way there. Slow, steady breath. And a couple more repetitions. We'll return to tabletop pose and pause a moment. A couple of slow, deep breaths. Push the floor away. And walk your hands forward. We're going to take some repetitions between this cow shape with the lifted tail and lifted chin and downward facing dog. So we'll inhale, lift the tail, lift the chin, arch the spine. Exhale, tuck your toes, round a little bit as you lift into downward facing dog. Knees and hips lift. We'll take an inhale in down dog. And then exhale, knees come to the floor. Inhale, lift the tail and lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the toes, lifting knees and hips for downward facing dog. And inhale in down dog. And then exhale, knees to the mat. Inhale, lifted tail, lifted chin, arched spine. Exhale, tucking toes, lifting knees and hips into downward facing dog. Inhaling in downward facing dog. Exhaling, knees to the floor. Inhale, arching the spine in cow pose. Exhaling one more time, lifting into downward facing dog. And this time we'll stay, so settling in, letting your feet find the place that they like best. Press the heels to the floor, bend your knees a little bit, and let your spine extend. Slow, steady breath. From here, we're going to walk the feet forward to the hands, and it might be a bit awkward, but eventually feet come to the front of the mat. Bend the knees, let the upper body hang over the legs. You could also bend the knees quite a bit and take the forearms to the thighs for umpire pose. Several breaths here. If you're in the full forward bend of Uttanasana, you could let your torso swing and sway. Take a yes and a no with your head and neck. I'm taking 2 more breaths here. Slowly rising, taking your arms out to the sides, eventually coming all the way up, touching palms overhead and bringing hands to heart center. And we'll pause here for a moment. You can lift your gaze slightly and checking back in with your breath. Moving for a little bit, coordinating breath and movement as best as we're able to. Slow and steady. Take any extra breaths you need. We'll inhale and sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Touch the palms. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, get a little bit longer. And then exhale, bend your knees and slowly fold forward. You could stop at umpire pose. You could continue the rest of the way down. We'll take a breath here. Inhale, come up halfway. Hands could touch the shins or the thighs. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, folding forward. Fingertips to the mat, both legs step back to downward facing dog. Take an inhalation here and an exhalation. On your inhale, we'll come forward to plank pose. And then exhale to lower the knees, modified plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower all the way to the mat and flatten out. Hands underneath the shoulders, tops of the feet pressed down. On your next inhale, slowly lifting the chest, lifting the head. Cobra pose, and then exhale, coming down. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, lifting head and chest. Exhale, lowering. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Press into your hands, tuck your toes, and come back to child's pose for a moment. Take a deep breath in here. And And then exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. And feet walk forward to the hands. And we pause, forward bend or umpire pose. Next inhale slowly brings us up, touching the palms, exhaling, staying here. Inhaling, getting long. Exhaling, arms come out to the sides and hands end up at heart center. Pausing here, cycle of breath. And then on your next inhale, arms out to the sides and up. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, get long. Exhale, bending your knees and folding. Umpire pose or Uttanasana, whichever works best. Bend the knees in either case. A breath here. Next inhale lifts us to lengthen the spine. We'll exhale and stay. We'll inhale and stay. We'll exhale and fold. Hands to the mat, both legs step back again, downward facing dog. Inhaling here and exhaling here. Next inhale brings us forward to plank pose, and the exhale takes knees to the mat for modified plank pose. Inhale here, and then exhale, elbows bend and close to the sides of the body. We slowly come down and flatten out. Press the tops of the feet down, hug the elbows in. Next inhale lifts the head and chest for cobra, and then exhale, we come down. Inhale, slowly lift, and exhale, come down. One more time. Inhaling to lift and lengthen for cobra. And exhaling, coming down. Pressing down into your hands, tucking your toes, and slowly coming back to a brief child's pose. Inhaling here. Exhaling, tucking the toes, lifting the knees and hips for downward facing dog. Inhaling here. And exhaling here. Walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Pausing for a moment, Uttanasana or umpire pose. Slowly rise on an inhale, coming all the way up. Touch the palms overhead and exhale, stay here. Inhale, get a little more tall. Exhale, arms out to the sides, hands to heart center. Pausing here for a cycle of breath. And then we'll inhale again, arms out to the sides and up. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, get long. Exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Take a breath here. Inhale, lift halfway and lengthen your spine. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, find that length again. And then exhale to fold. Hands to the mat, feet step back, downward facing dog. Inhaling here. And exhaling here. And then we'll inhale forward to plank pose. Exhale, knees to the mat, modified plank. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, slowly lower to the floor. Flatten out. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press down into the tops of the feet. Lift the head and chest, lengthen. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, slowly lift and lengthen. And exhale, come back down. One more time. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. Tuck the toes, pressing back to child's pose. Cycle of breath here. Inhaling. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling here. And exhaling here. Walking the feet forward to the top of the mat. Umpire pose or Uttanasana, forward bend. Cycle of breath. Inhale to slowly rise, come all the way up. Touch the palms overhead and exhale, stay here. Inhale, getting longer through your whole body. Exhale, arms out to the sides, hands come to heart center, and we pause for a moment. Next, inhale, arms sweep out to the sides and up, palms touch. Exhale, we stay here. Inhale, getting a little bit of length, maybe lifting the heart, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, bending your knees and folding. Umpire pose or Uttanasana. Cycle of breath here. Inhale, coming up halfway, lengthening your spine, and exhaling to stay here. Inhaling here as well. And then exhaling, folding. Hands to the mat, right leg, big step back. Your choice, right knee can come to the mat or stay lifted. Keeping that cycle of breath moving, even without the instruction. Slow, steady breath. Option to take hands to the front knee. If today's a more gentle day, take that back knee to the mat. If it's more moderate, back knee can stay lifted. Option to reach the arms up. Couple of breaths. Hands coming down to the mat. Pause here. Back leg will step forward to meet the front leg, back to the top of the mat and fold. Take a cycle of breath. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Hands to the floor again. Left leg steps back this time. If it's a more gentle day, bring the left knee to the mat. If it's more moderate, keep the left knee lifted. Cycle of breath. Hands can come to the front thigh. Arms can reach up alongside of the ears. Couple of breaths here. Hands back to the mat. Pause. Breathing in. Breathing out. Back leg steps forward to meet the front leg and we fold. Cycle of breath here. Slowly rise all the way up, inhaling. Palms touch, exhale, stay here. Inhale, a little bit of a back bend if you choose, and maybe just length otherwise. Exhaling, arms out to the sides, hands come to heart center, and we pause. Again, we'll inhale, arms sweeping out to the sides and up. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, get a little length and maybe a bit of back bend if you choose. Exhale, bending the knees and folding forward. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, folding. Hands to the mat. Right leg steps back, right heel plants, and taking the right foot, right leg back, not as far as we did for lunge, and not as far as we would for warrior two. Momentarily bend your left knee and bring your hands up to the left thigh, lifting the torso, and then straightening the left leg. Arms come behind the back. We'll hold on to opposite elbows or opposite forearms, finding length up through the torso and strength down through your legs. Begin to lean forward. A couple of choices here. You might come to a halfway place and stay. Left knee can have a micro bend, looking for long length through your spine and torso. If your body will allow you to fold any further, you are welcome to fold further. Arms could stay behind the back. Fingertips could come to the shin or to the floor. Head can bow slightly. A few breaths here in pyramid pose. Both legs are straight and strong. Engage the muscles of the belly. Slowly lift the torso, coming back up. Release your arms. Send them up alongside of the ears. Legs are still straight and we're just reaching long, maybe leaning back a little bit for back bend. Hands come to heart center. We're going to stab forward, top of the mat. Pause here. And then inhale, arms sweep out to the sides and up. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, lengthening the torso, maybe taking that to a back bend. Exhale, bending your knees and slowly folding forward. Inhale, coming up halfway, long spine. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, folding forward. Fingertips to the floor. Left leg takes a slightly shorter step back, not as long as we had for lunge, not as far back as we would for warrior two. Momentarily bending your right knee. Hands come up to the right thigh. We're standing upright and straightening both legs. Pause a moment here. Widen across your chest. Take the arms behind the back. You can switch the grip of where you would usually be holding on. From here, leaning your torso forward. Maybe halfway is a good place to be. We can all take a few breaths in that halfway place. And then if you want to lower further, you may do so. Right hip is moving back slightly as the left hip comes forward. They meet somewhere in the middle. Fingertips could come to the shin or to the floor. Back of the neck can lengthen. A couple of breaths. Strong legs, strong belly as you slowly come back upright. Legs are straight, arms release and sweep out to the sides, coming alongside of the ears. You can lean back a little bit into the back bend. Hands come to heart center. Back leg steps forward. Releasing arms to your sides and standing in mountain pose for a couple of breaths. Inhale, sweeping arms out to the sides, touch the palms. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, a little bit of length, perhaps a bit of back bend. Exhale, forward bend or umpire pose. Pausing for a cycle of breath. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, staying here. Inhale, staying here. Exhale, folding. Bringing the feet and legs close together. From the forward bend, start to bend your knees and lift your heels, slowly coming down into a toe squat. Fingertips could stay on the floor, helping with the balance. Lift your gaze, find something to focus your eyes on across the room. Keep hugging the legs together. Hands could come to the thighs if the balance allows. Hands could come to heart if the balance allows. Arms could come up alongside of the ears. Slow, steady breath. One hand comes in front, one behind as we set ourselves down on the mat. Hug the fronts of the shins, curl the spine, let the head bow. Couple of breaths here. And slowly rolling down onto your back. Knees come in towards the belly. Hands onto the kneecaps. Extending your elbows, but keeping hold of the kneecaps so that the knees are farther away from you. And then bending your elbows and bringing the knees in closer. We'll inhale as we extend the elbows, let the knees go out. Exhale as you bend your elbows and hug the knees in. A few more repetitions of this. Inhaling, knees stretch away from you. Exhaling, knees draw in closer to the belly. Following the pace of your breath. Taking your feet to the floor, about mat distance apart, arms coming out to the sides in a T shape. We'll inhale here in position. Exhale, knees both fall to the right. They may not come all the way down. Head can roll to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, knees to the left. Head rolls to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhaling side to side, moving with your breath. The next time your knees are over to the right side, staying there for a few breaths. Head can roll to the left. Shoulder blades could tuck a little underneath you. Get a little extra stretch by taking your right foot to the left thigh. Just to give a bit of weight to the left leg. If that aggravates the hip or the knee, it's not required. Several breaths here. Bringing Knees back to center, feet to the floor. Knees over to the left side, head over to the right, and we take a few breaths here. Left leg, left foot could come up to the right thigh to give a little extra weight there. A few breaths. To the floor, and we return to center. Arms come down alongside of your hips, palms face up. Feet come a little closer together, and you'll have an opportunity to change the position of the feet for bridge pose. We're going to lift and lower with the breath in and out of bridge pose. So the next time you inhale, press down into your feet, lift your hips, take the arms up and overhead. Exhale, coming back down. Maybe adjusting the feet. Heels could come in a little closer. Inhale, lifting arms, lifting hips. Exhale, slowly lowering spine first and then hips. A few more repetitions of this with your breath. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Two more times, lifting and lowering. And one last time, slowly lifting. And slowly lowering. Pausing here a moment. Knees come into the belly. If you'd like, you can curl the head and shoulders up off the floor. Take a tight squeeze. Head and shoulders come back down. Knees could stay right where they are, hugging in towards the belly. Knees could go wide and the feet could stay together, and you could hold on to the shins or ankles, right? Letting the knees go a bit wide. Could also come into a different version of happy baby with the feet pointed towards the sky. Knees are wide and coming down towards the floor on either side of you. A few breaths wherever you are. Last pose before Shavasana. Beginning to make your way to a comfortable reclining position. You could lie on your back, you could lie on your side, you could lie on your belly. Knees could stay bent, legs could extend out across the mat, arms comfortable distance away from your body. Keep that rhythm of breath that we had for another few cycles. So imagining where we were lifting our arms and inhaling, and we were exhaling and slowly folding, and keeping that rhythm going another few cycles. You can let go of that rhythm. Allow your breath to move in whatever pattern it wants to move. No effort in the breath. Allow your whole body to to relax down into your space. Again, taking notice of your surroundings, even if it's a mental picture of the room through your closed eyes. Giving yourself space, time, stillness, and quiet. Allow the body to relax even further with every exhalation. If you have extra time today, I encourage you to stay in Shavasana, to allow your body to rest and rejuvenate a bit longer. If it's time to move on to the next thing, take a couple of slow, deep breaths in and out. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Give a big yawn and stretch. Bend your knees and roll to your side. Pause there a moment. And then come to a comfortable seat of your choice. Pausing here, eyes can close. A few cycles of breath together, a few more moments of practice and community. Hands could stay where they are, hands could come to heart center. Pausing a moment, a bow of your head. Honoring your body, honoring your breath, honoring your practice. Thank you for letting me guide your practice today. It's always an honor.